Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. It is Sunday night, and we are here to play some Dungeons and Dragons, as we do on Sunday nights whenever life is not kicking us in the pants. So, okay. I was going to say something, but Sarah looks really surprised about something, and I'm like really distracted by that. She's like, so, okay. Yeah, so here we are. It's Sunday. We're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons, as we do. And I'm pretty excited for today's game, and also because what is happening? What is?
I'm just fucking with you.
Okay. So I'm pretty excited that Sarah is at Tom's place putting together all of the comic book stuff and getting that all sent out. That's really exciting. And also, I got the draft layout for book 2 yesterday, so that means so the script is written, the layout's ready. Well, our editor is going to look over it, and then once everything's good, the art's going to go down, and we're well on our way. So really excited about that. So yeah, that's what I got going on. Does anyone else have anything they want to talk about real quick?
We'll be at Gen Con and Origins, and all the nice stuff that we're fulfilling here will be available for sale at Gen Con and Origins.
That's what's up.
I guess, sort of following on with that, I will be playing in a game at Gen Con this year on Thursday that you can join. I will be giving more information about that game in the future, but be on the lookout.
Are you going to be at Gen Con?
No. It's digital for this game. But it's cool because it's my first time being involved with any convention. So for me, it's really happy, but Sarah's not happy. And so but, yeah.
You know, sometimes yes, sometimes.
I guess I'm just going to make all the different faces today. I guess that's my thing.
Yeah. It's a day for faces. Okay, so if no one else has anything going on, well, we sure do have stuff going on in Caliphus, Suslam to be specific, and we're going to go ahead and jump on into that. So yeah, it's time. Let's go. Welcome back. All right, so before we started, I quizzed everybody, and Roland won. So he's going to tell us what happened and where we're at.
Okay. Last time on Like Clockwork, there was a conversation that happened on the roof of the tavern outside of Suslam between Shayloon, Perunia, and Rosalia, in which a large spirit orb was manifested that could shed sunlight and also contact the patron, of which name I forgot. There was also a fracas that took place while we were gone with orcs and not proven, but possibly maybe actually water demons that I'll probably never admit to, even after we admit that they're actually water demons, but I'll probably never accept that. There were injured people in a makeshift hospital inside the tavern where the venerable and respected Aegis Ing took care, assisted very bravely and heroically in taking care of the injured. A prayer of healing was cast, to which he very humbly was like, "No, it's not me who did it." Anyway, and then people were healed, and then the episode ended with
And then
that.
the episode ended. So I believe that when we ended, there was some talk about going into Suslam proper to speak for some folks and, try and figure out more about what's going on. Because Rosalia did see in a vision in the said ball some creatures that she described, and everyone went, yeah, okay, water demons, damn it. And with that, we are going to pick up as Rosalia she's going to stay on the roof and try to commune more with her new bauble, if you will, while Perunia and Shayloon go downstairs, perhaps to find the others and plan the next moves.
Hey, so hear me out, Shay. I think you should go tell Panabon that they were right about the water demons, and I can tell Lax and Aegis that we need to go into town to find that witchy woman and see if she knows more about these Shadow Fae water demon creatures.
All right. Yeah, I'll talk to Panabon, and yeah, good idea. That's fine, Perunia. Thanks.
You almost said good idea. I heard it.
That's a good idea.
Thank you.
Sure. Well, I'm gonna go. See you soon.
All right. You walk down the stairs. And where is everybody else right now? So you two are on the roof.
I believe me and Aegis are downstairs trying to help. So I'm more just a passing assistant to Aegis as Aegis is working. And I think after what just happened at the end of the last episode, which is he healed everybody and people were kind of surprised by it, I go, I don't think your little charade is necessarily working. People know that was some magic that you did there. I think. And he looks over his shoulder. What is he?
Yeah, there are people that are like, yeah, that's happening.
Charade? What do you mean charade? What is charade?
It's a game that you're playing. But maybe you don't know you're playing it.
You will notice that my expression is completely oblivious to like that. Yeah.
What he goes is healing magically is not necessarily commonplace for most folks here, and I'm pretty sure that our caravan brought us on and with the promise of making sure no one got hurt, not knowing that we had magic to do that. I'm not quite sure if that's gonna bite us in the butt later if she finds out, but he just kind of tilts his hat down and then like goes back to passing stuff.
And I'll turn around and I'll meet the eye contact of everybody in the room. Hello, everyone. Please get back to work. The people are suffering. They need our help.
Most of them go back to work. The ones that you heal, they're talking to some of their friends. A couple of orcs, and which you did like six. You got 6 people.
Yeah, the one guy who was very, very well on the brink of death, and then
right,
whoever else. Yeah.
So yeah, most of them go back to work. The orcs and the people that were until just recently in an excruciating amount of pain. Some of them move away. However, one of them does come up to you. That was. I was gonna die.
Indeed, you are.
And now I'm not even. There's not even a wound. There's no burns.
This is true. You have another chance at life.
How did you do this?
And kind of think for a moment, kind of coming to the realization of knowing who I am and what I'm supposed to be representing here. I think I take this moment to finally just submit to it. So I am guided by a venerable being named Nipoe.
What kind of being?
It's not a common concept in this day and age anymore, but I believe that she is a goddess.
A goddess, like a spirit.
Yes. And I'll hold up my symbol. This is the symbol of Nipoe.
Is it? We've seen magic. Chetra has magic, but he has never used it to heal anybody before.
I have been given a gift, a divine gift, I assume. I, a man of science, could not explain it myself. I am led to believe it is divine.
It's a miracle, is what it is. It's
Truly.
Is this a person? This goddess Nipoe is that someone? How could I meet her?
I wish I had the answer for that. Do I in this moment, do I feel any sort of influence by Nipoe at all?
I mean, you always kind of get a sense of there being something, but nothing that is tangible or easily understood.
Don't know the answer to your question. Give me a night. I will. This is weird for me to say. I will pray to her, and if I find you tomorrow here, I will give you the answer for how you can contact her again.
Okay. Okay. I'll leave you to what you're doing here for yes. I don't mean to bother.
Find water, eat food.
Well, yeah, water and food, certainly.
And then I'll turn away abruptly and go back to work.
Okay.
Locks, before passing, sort of was kind of eavesdropping, but would say, "Excuse me, sir. What's your name?"
He looks at you. Oh, my name is. He thinks about it for a second, as if considering something, and then he just kind of turns, and it's guilt.
All right. Like my friend said, he'll do all he can to give you your answers. And he sort of bows his hat and walks away. and goes and tells Aegis the guy's name.
Okay.
And he would walk over to Aegis, just be like, Aegis, the guy you were just speaking to, Guilt. I know you know where to find him, but
His name is Guilt?
Guilt.
That is
like,
unfortunate.
It's a weird pronunciation, if I'm doing it right. But what I will say is sometimes, Mr. Doctor, sir, using people's first names is a good way to build a rapport with them. So that gift's on you. And he sort of walks away with like a big bucket of water that goes up after.
Good to consider.
Where's Panabon at?
Panabon went to see if Vivid is still alive, or if Vivid died based on the copious amount of drugs that were given to them without any knowledge of what to actually do with them so much. Yeah, so I'm going to break into Zivid's room, and if they are alive and asleep, I'm going to slap them awake.
Okay. So you start by knocking on the door?
I mean, I was just going to break in, but sure, yeah, I'll knock on the door.
Yeah, no, I'm asking. I mean, you can knock.
No,
or
I'm
you
just
can
going to break in.
Okay.
I'm just going to break in.
All right. I am not going to have you roll. I'm just going to say that you pick the lock because it's easily pickable. Shaylun, as you and Prunia come to the second floor from the roof, you do notice the telltale sign of a swash of color go into one of the rooms and recognizable color as Prunia is going to continue down the stairs.
Yep, not dealing with that.
And I think I knew where Zivid was staying from before I left, so I like watch Prunia keep going, realizing that I have no out, and I will approach the door and try to figure out what's happening.
All right. So as you're approaching the door, John, Zivid is someone's in here, a Zivid-sized person apparently, is in the bed. The covers are like pulled all around them, and they are breathing heavily, like you do when you're asleep.
Okay. Panabon's going to go over and, like, not angry slap, but like, you know, when you like not like hysterical woman in airplane slap, but like one of those kind of like, Zivid, wake up! Get up!
So you're just kind of smacking the bundle of gnome?
Yes.
Okay.
Aiming for the face, because I feel like that's going to get the best result.
As I peek in the room, I've got my mouth like positioned to say nope if I need to. Like,
Okay. What
You're alive. Good, you're alive. That's the first thing. Hey, so there was a water demon attack in town. Were you awake for any of that? Have you been sleeping for like 3 days?
What?
Did you not see the water demons?
No, I just didn't see anything. I just went into here.
Yeah. Are you high? Did that medicine that you were given, did that like put you in a coma? Like what happened?
What? What time is it?
It's getting up time. They're big attack.
No, I'm not ready to get up. I don't.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you want to die in your bed like a sad gnome, you can feel free to die in your bed like a sad gnome. I would recommend waking up.
With that, he sits up. Go ahead, Shaylun. As he sits up with his hair is all like out because he doesn't have his hat on, and it's just like the blanket is still like around him, so only his head's poking out.
With Panabon saying go ahead and die in here, I'm gonna go, Zivid, are you feeling all right?
No, I think that I think my tongue grew.
It's probably what we poisoned him with from the witch woman down the township.
Excuse me?
What
Yeah, we just
did-
gave him
what
some
did you-
stuff, and I don't know what it did. We just totally lied to him, and didn't tell him how much it takes. So who knows what happened?
Did you what?
Well, they wanted you to calm down and
Hannibal?
What's happened?
Let's go.
All right. Well, my advice to you is to get out of bed and find out what's going on. And yeah, just watch out for the water demons. And I do finger guns as I walk out of the room.
Shayla, what? Are you gonna die?
No. I'm gonna go get Aegis to come make you feel better.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, we should never get herbs from a witch woman. I mean, I tried, but they just.
Cannabon, what in your brain would make you think that if I don't like you stabbing people, that I'd be okay with you poisoning them?
I didn't do the poison. I did not give Zivid a single herb. It was not my idea. When the woman started talking like a thief, I was like, I'm out. I bounced. I started laughing. But they were like, we're going to give Zivid some herbs. It'll be fine. Don't even tell him. It'll be fine.
Who said that?
Oh, who can remember? Not me. The important thing is it's not my fault.
Yeah, I don't believe you at all. But let's go find Aegis, and meanwhile, I have some news for you.
Well, it can't be my sister is dead or something like that, or is she turned into water demon?
While you are very wrong to be involved with poisoning of any kind of anyone, it looks as though you are maybe a little semi-right, just hardly maybe at all. I wouldn't even use the word right about seems as though there are slight water demon problems.
I mean, any water demon is a water demon problem.
Right.
I mean, it's not common.
Good. Now you know that was what I had to do, was tell you that you were maybe slightly a little bit.
Problem with that. I made it up. If it's actually a thing that happened, I might be able to conjure things just by speaking them into existence, which is maybe a problem.
That might be a great reason to start watching what you say a little better.
So I shouldn't use the phrase fire demon, right?
Oh my!
Just to be clear, is that a bad idea?
She just stops and looks at you and goes, and just keeps walking to find Aegis.
All right. Meanwhile, downstairs, Perunia, you see Lox speaking to somebody and then walking over to Aegis, and so they are together.
So I'm gonna go approach them, and I'll say quietly, "Hey, we got some information from that orb thing that Rosalia found with you, Lox. Why didn't you say anything? Never mind. We'll deal with that later. This is important. I need you guys to come follow me in the corner, and I'll tell you what's up."
We cannot speak of it here. I am very busy.
Nope. No, in Aegis, this is more important. Also, this will cause a panic if other people hear it.
Then the lives of people?
Oh my God. I usher them out the door.
You! Get water there! You! Bandage that person there! You!
Come on.
Six more orders.
Shouting orders So I'm trying to get him out to behind the back hall, or just in a corner where other people aren't. So whether it's a broom closet, whatever, and quickly shut the door. And
it's dusty in here.
yes, but at least it's not on fire from water demons, which apparently kind of came true. Okay. So the ball was with her patron. I don't know if that's the right word to use. I don't know what a patron is. Morgan, though, I think her name was. And anyway, she like communed with Rosalia, who's trying to commune with her more up on the roof. And she said the destruction, the fire from the Blue Jug Lodge was caused by these serpent-like creatures from the Shadow Fae.
Oh, good, not water demons then.
But yeah. Like if they're water demons, why aren't they using water to like?
And frankly, that makes me more worried, not less.
I mean, it sounds less like water demons and more like generic.
They slipped
creatures.
back into the water and were serpent-like.
Hmm.
They came in and out of the water
Snakes.
blew fire.
So the difference
did it have to
between
be
water
snakes?
demons and animals from the Fae is what?
Yeah. So it came from the Shadow Fae. That much is clear. And there's some sort of water demons that also shoot fire. It's a little unclear on the details. Rosalia is still trying to find out more. Yeah, it's slightly confusing. But that's why I was thinking maybe we go talk to that witch in town, and Aegis, you can pick up your other supplies. That woman knew an awful lot about the Shadow Fae. And I mean, maybe if she can identify these creatures, we can find a way to fight it. Otherwise, this oasis, we could just tell the caravan to leave now because they are all going to be dead. And also, really bad if more things are escaping from the Shadow Fae into this realm. Like, all of us, the entire world as we know it is like in trouble. Not to be over dramatic. I'm a little panicked right now.
All right.
I did not prepare calm emotions today.
I don't need that, Aegis.
So the first question I have is: has Rosalia said she knows what these creatures are, or are we just going off of they are from the Fae? That's all we know.
Yeah, she's aware of them, but she didn't know a lot of details, so that's why she's up there still trying to commune with the orb and try to find out more. But
Right.
she's in like a deep meditative trance, and like she's working on it.
All right. Aegis, it sounds like if we don't go and handle this now, we're gonna have a lot more people to be taken care of. And I know Nippoe is pretty dang powerful, but I'd rather close this hole or make these snakes go bye-bye or whatever. Faster rather than
very eloquent.
you know.
Sorry.
Anyway, I think we should go and handle this as much as we can.
I'm Shay going to tell Panabond that, well, maybe they were kind of sort of, nobody wants to use the word correct, but close enough.
Do you think that Shay will have the wherewithal to say that it's close enough, not water demons? Because you came here talking all about water demons.
Oh, I'm convinced that it's water demons. They basically cursed us, is how I feel. Panabon should be careful what they think into existence.
I trust Miss Shaylun's grasp of logic to be able to explain what it actually is, and that it may not be actually water demons.
Oh my god, serpent creatures from the Shadow Fae is way too long to say. We're gonna call them water demons.
All right.
Not me.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay, serpent creatures from the Shadow Fae. Try saying that 5 times fast. That's all I'm saying.
Creatures from the water Fae.
I can barely speak common.
That is true.
I'm just pulling your leg. All right, let's go solve some mysteries.
I think I saw Panabon go into Zivid's room.
Oh no! And he starts walking really fast.
When you are all done getting Shaylun and Panabon, meet me back in the middle of the tavern.
All right.
And I'm gonna go find a person that I met during this, who I find most competent, to let them know that I'm leaving and that they're in charge while I'm gone. or something.
Okay. I mean, there's Ogelia's there. That's probably the most competent person that you can think of.
Okay, I would love to give her an order. That sounds like fun.
Yeah. So yeah, there's Ogelia. She's tending to a couple of the other caravan folk.
Aurelia,
Yes, Aegis.
I have to go with the rest of the party to procure some items that I had ordered for medical purposes. While I am gone, make sure that people are tended to, given the right amount of care.
Okay, Aegis.
Are you aware of how to take care of burns and do transfusions?
Burns. Yes, we're handling the burns. I don't know that anybody knows transfusions.
Well, this is what you do, and I explain it because I can't.
So about 10 minutes later, everybody, Aegis is still in the inn.
Shay.
I think we were going up to Zivid's room to meet these guys.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they're outside of Zivid's room, apparently arguing about something.
Or are we still arguing? Okay, we're still arguing about whether we poison Zivid or not, or possibly fire demons.
I just turned to walk away.
Oh, it looks like we got good timing. We're meeting Aegis in the lobby. If y'all are ready to go.
I am more than ready to go. But I think Aegis might be needed briefly. It could probably wait. It didn't seem dire. I'll just tell him.
Zivid's not dead, guys.
Okay.
Zivid's not dead.
What? It's not
He
dead.
die from too much weed. He's fine.
Are you sure that's what we gave him?
Oh my God! What did I miss?
I don't know. People that decided to give Zivid stuff to calm him down, or whatever that was supposed to do. He's not
I
dead.
think it worked.
It worked. He's not dead. But he also doesn't know there were water demons attacking.
Yeah, we should
Which I'm not
probably
going to say I was right about, but like...
How loud is
No.
Panabon being about that?
Pretty loud. It's Panama.
I go Panabon.
Yeah.
We might not want to talk about all of these water demons yet out loud.
I mean,
we don't want to
people
panic.
down in the tavern know that they exist because they witnessed it, though, right?
Aegis.
Oh, here's a question. I had a really good question. So here's something I want to know. So there are guards here, right, at the Oasis, right? You think they saw anything? Like, if I went to the guard tower to get like a vantage point, you think like somebody there would tell us exactly what had happened and what they looked like?
I talked to Nguyen, who was at the Blue Joke Lodge when it started, but they came up in the middle of the night, she said, and they came from the water, but she didn't get a good glimpse of them, and she didn't describe them to me as serpent-like. She just said that it was a non-humanoid figure that went back into the water. So that was as much as it sounds like any of the orcs who were even there saw. So they're sneaky, Panabon.
They're also
Can
pretty
I
dang
stab
smart.
them? Can I stab them?
Let's find out if we can stab them. That I do want to know.
Oh, interesting. I do like stabbing things. That will make me feel better.
All right. If we find any of these bad guys, Panabon, you may stab them. Until then,
I mean,
we
hopefully
should
they
not.
go down.
We
Because,
should
like, if they're
not.
like the things in the open air graveyard that were like, I don't want to go
Yep.
through that again.
Aegis.
Aegis is waiting for us downstairs.
Yeah.
We're supposed to go get him.
Yeah, we're moving, and I'm calling for him because
Yeah. Does Aegis come?
need this.
Here is the last of my med kits, and here are a few last components.
Yes, okay.
Make sure that everyone stays hydrated and feed those who are healthy.
The bread, yep. Yes,
Okay.
Yes, it's gonna be fine, Aegis.
Very well. I turn away.
Do you come upstairs real fast?
Well, I imagine I turn to see you as you're coming down the steps. That's kind of the timing.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll approach Aegis and I start talking and then realize that like I don't necessarily want people to overhear this, so I'll look up at him and like ask him to lean down so I can tell him this.
I do like a 90-degree bend.
So apparently these dear, smart, wonderful friends of ours poisoned Zivit with something.
Well, it's not poison.
He said his tongue is swollen and he's not feeling well and he's been in bed.
Maybe an allergic reaction to the weed that Perunia gave.
What is a weed?
Something the witch gave.
Never
And
trust
with-
witches. I'm just saying.
I look very offendedly at Panabon.
I think that sleep would be the best thing. I'm sure when Zivit is up to standing, he will come down and have no choice but to drink something with the cotton mouth that he is developing.
If you think he'll be fine, all right. But we're heading to see the witch. So if you are ready, we can go.
You may find this place fascinating. Actually, she has many odd components.
Oh,
She speaks
I'm
like
really
me.
I'm kind of excited because magic and stuff like that. But I don't like this connotation that people are giving about a witch. Sounds like someone is being biased toward magical women.
I also believe that she is just an old woman with eccentricities.
I can accept that.
Let's go.
Rich, bad, crazy cat lady, okay.
Yeah, actually thinks most magic people are not okay, so she stays silent.
All right. So with that, you start heading towards the gates into System. And as you approach, the guards look over, and you see one of them kind of turn your way. It's a female guard. You recognize her from speaking to her before. And she pulls away from the other guards and kind of beelines to Perunia.
Hey, good to see you again.
Indeed. I had expected to see you yesterday, but the caravan leader said that your party had traveled.
We had a bit of a family situation.
I see. Well, it appears that things have gotten worse, as you must know by now if you're coming from the inn.
Do you see anything?
The guards say that they remember someone walking to the lodge itself, but that they assumed it was an orc or they belonged. So
This
they didn't do
This is
anything.
going to be a weird question, but bear with me. Were they walking upright?
As I said, the guards mentioned that they thought it was just orcs or somebody visiting the lodge, so I presume that they must have been walking upright.
And not child height?
Not
Or
child height,
gnome height?
not that they reported.
So more likely, they thought it was a human or an orc size person.
Yes, that is what I got.
It might be helpful to talk to some of the ones who actually observed this man or woman.
If you wish, right over here, but I don't know that you can get any additional information. It's actually a little odd, but by all means.
Yes?
So with that, you walk on over to the two guards that are standing there, and she indicates the one. This is Odoras. He's the one who was on tower that night. The guy looks up at you, and he just kind of looks between the two of you for a minute. Hello.
Hey, I'm curious if you got a good look at the figure that was walking towards the lodge before the fire started.
I'm sorry, my lady. I did not get a good look. I only just barely remember seeing anybody. It must have been dark, or I'm not sure. Somebody did walk to the lodge.
What direction? What direction were they walking? From the inn? From the oasis itself? From the water?
Um, from the water, I think.
Didn't strike you as odd. Do people normally take boats that way?
Sometimes, but I didn't think anything of it at the time. I don't know why.
Is it just Perunia there?
No, you guys
no,
are
you're
behind
all
me.
Oh, really? Okay. Can I get an insight check?
Sure.
Skills.
I'm going to ask you an odd question, but I want you to be truthful with me, as much as you can be. Was this being walking upright?
Yes, I think yes. Yes, it was. I think it was just a person. I assumed it was an orc going to the lodge. I guess. I think.
And what made you assume it was an orc? The size or the color?
Who else would be going to the lodge at night in this way? I'm sorry. I wish I knew more.
Well, Adras, I do think this is helpful. As little as this tells us something.
Yes.
Are you all right, my good man? You look a little distracted.
I'm just. I don't understand why I can't. I just at this point, Vanique, the senior guard, speaks up and she says, Odres is one of our more accountable guards. It's odd that he would have seen somebody and not recalled it, given the circumstances.
I give a meaningful look to the party.
Would you allow me to perform a medical tactic from Denong?
If Odres he looks and says, if you think it can help me remember, I am willing. Yes.
I certainly hope so. So I will. If he's wearing a sleeve or like a gauntlet or whatever, I try to get to a piece of skin, and I just put my hand on it, and I'll cast Lesser Restoration.
Okay.
Hopefully that helps. Hopefully, in case it's magical or poison, or I think that's what it is, right? Disease, one condition afflicting it.
Yes, a condition afflicting. Kind of shakes his head and it was an odd feel. My memory seems clearer, but I still cannot make out what I saw, it's like a hazy image of a person perhaps cloaked in mist or smoke. In my mind, I'm sorry.
I immediately look over at Aegis and try to catch his eye and like mouth.
It's not. Does anything else come to mind now about that evening that you had not remembered before?
I see things. I feel like I see things more clearly. I now can see that it wasn't an orc. It wasn't. Well, I mean, perhaps it was. I just it is a person, or but they're clouded in smoke. In my mind, I see it now.
Do any of your other comrades seem to be as detached from their memories as you are? Have you noticed that in conversation?
I and Vanish agrees that she has not as well.
I just kind of step back then.
And
Thank you.
I want to ask a quick question. Were you the only person who saw them like that directly?
I was the only person on that tower. Yes.
He walks over near Aegis and goes, "It seems to be these things have some magic," and he just kind of whispers that. I know that's what you and Shailene did too, but that's me understanding that.
I'll reach into my pack and I'll hand the guy an apple. This will help.
Thank you.
Turn towards Vanish again, and motion her aside to step away from the group. And I ask her, has there been other occurrences of things catching fire, disturbances in the oasis? Like, I'm wondering if there is a pattern or if someone's being targeted or if this is random violence. If you think that there's a pattern here, that could help us.
I cannot say that there was the murder the night before, as you no doubt recall, and then nothing that I can think of with the orcs. It's been a strange time these past several months with the changes. But Chetra says that there's not really anything he imagines we should be concerned about.
Chetra's the local wizard, I understand.
Yes, he is.
The one with the monkey.
Monkey. Oh no! That is a creature of his own devising.
Oh,
There's a wizard.
Yes. Hold on, Shay.
She like looks around like she might be able to spot him.
When you say changes, do you mean as magic has reappeared? What kind of changes are you referring to?
Well, of course, the magic, but that's been years now. The wave and the rumors that in the sea that the tempest has fallen. Since then, there have been people complaining about horrible dreams, other oddities.
Local political problems.
I tend not to embroil myself in those situations. That would be for the Rotoro to speak on if you could find a time to speak with him.
Aro Toro, is he the leader of the Oasis?
Yes, the Rotoro is yes. He is the commander. I guess is a close enough word to what you might know. The chief or king.
And what has been the relationship between the orcs and the humans living inside the Oasis?
It has always been one of camaraderie, friendship.
I'd like to roll an insight check on that.
Sure.
Not that is a skill set that I have.
Ooh, it is today.
Good enough.
All right, so and that kind of also vibes, her story kind of just vibes with what you know about orcs in Vaishan in general. They're not orcs in Vaishan are not orcs like we think about in normal Dungeons and Dragons. The orcs in Vaishan, they're kind of just a sort of honorable nomadic civilization. I mean, it's more than like one tribe, if you will, but
Tracking with that, it just seems weird that they were the ones targeted if there's not political drama.
mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Political drama.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to see. Well, at least she doesn't seem to think so. Anyways, thank you for all of your help. Whatever we can do for the Oasis, we will.
Thank you. Just if you do find anything, please let me know, and I will share any information that I obtain if I learn anything new.
Absolutely. I reach forward my hand to shake it.
She shakes as well, clasps in the style of warriors in the desert, where they it's around the wrist. So, and then she sparks a few commands at some of the other guards, and leave you to it.
I'll motion to the group to keep walking and lowering my voice because I know we're about to walk through the Oasis. I'll explain. So Shay, Chetra is the local wizard. He was the creepy dude that we saw with the little monkey thing. That seems like I don't know, kind of like a spiritual thing or something. Anyway, he was talking to Azenda right when we got here. So I don't think that he is maybe a good wizard. Not that he necessarily knew Zenda was up to no good, but like, I don't know. I don't have a good feeling about this.
Right. Yeah, we wouldn't want to come across anyone else that does deadomancy or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Or speaks to Deb temporarily or anything like that. That would be really unsavory.
I elbow Locks. I mean, not Locks. I elbow Aegis.
Why? We don't know that actually happened.
Yeah.
As we approach the wall, or however we're getting in, I don't know if the gates are open or closed or what have you.
They're open. The gates are open.
As we get closer to whatever chaos is happening inside the Oasis walls, can I do like a nature check to try and observe any changes or any extraneous mists or any kind of like weird natural things that may have?
Why don't you start with a perception test to see if you notice anything that's funny, and then if you do, you can make a nature check too.
I was because my nature was higher. My wisdom is not very high. Shocking, I know. But here's my perception.
Yeah, so you don't see anything out of the ordinary at this point. You do see the smoke still rising from the embers, the remaining embers of the fires, but there's nothing else that strikes you as being odd. So
it somehow makes me more nervous. actually. That's not comforting. The opposite of comforting is what that is.
Indeed. Well,
I'd like to continue on to talk to the witch. I
I
think
mean,
this
you
is
could call her
interesting.
shopkeeper, maybe.
Did you say baby?
Does she have a name?
No. Herbalist? I didn't catch it.
Yeah,
Well-
dude. Out of character. Did she have a name? Did we
She
miss
did.
that?
she did.
Did we ask?
So
Notes.
as you head over in the direction of the house, we are going to take a quick break.
Oh.
And we will we'll see everybody on the other side of it. Hey everybody, welcome back. We're in the Suslam Oasis, the area where the city, I guess the village, and everyone is heading over to speak to the witch.
Known as Auntie.
I
Indeed.
move up to where Lox is, and I just look to Lox and I do like a stage whisper, which for me is very difficult. And I go, "Hey Lox, you notice anything not wrong in this town? Like
I'm
a
gonna
lack of
use
water demon
perception.
tracks?"
And see if I notice anything out of the that just seems more strange than normal, I guess.
Okay.
So I can answer Panabon's question.
Sure.
19.
You don't see anything really out of the ordinary here. Yeah.
I mean, it's either I do or don't, right?
People are still going about their daily business even.
Yeah, so I'm gonna look over to Panabon and say, this looks like any big old settlement that I've ever seen, so I can't say that I've noticed anything strange. No.
Yeah, that's kind of the point. I mean, a lot of things in Palicune, but people here are, well, one, they're not terrified. Two, if it is water demons, wouldn't you think there'd be some water demon?
I see your train of logic, or at least what I think you're trying to say, which is,
Doesn't that scare you?
yeah. So what I would say to that is, you see these giant walls and that giant gate that's keeping people out? They're already able to keep out as much as they think they can. I think the orcs were the ones who were attacked, and to these people in this city, they probably don't see themselves as part of that. They'll have to deal with it as it comes, but at least for now, they must feel safe behind these walls. That's at least my read of that.
Until I arrive.
Chuckles
I just
to
look-
himself.
I look back slightly and then look forward again.
All right. So it doesn't take you very long, because the oasis is not very big, to arrive at the little hut that makes up Auntie's shop.
Hey, Danny, I'm going to take a look around to see if I see the girl UA anywhere around the shop or on our way there.
Okay. Make a perception test as you're moving.
Hey.
As you're walking over there, you do not see the girl. Nowhere to be spotted.
Okay.
Takes you a few moments to get to the doorway. As you approach Shaylun, you haven't seen this, so it's a hut. It's there's a lot of like kind of overgrown plants in the front. There's various odds and ends out, just things that look like maybe they're old devices, or things that maybe look like they might have some sort of more esoteric function, but nothing that you really recognize other than a few like gears and tools that are just kind of standard tools. The door itself is closed. It was open the last time for the rest of you. The door itself is closed, and there doesn't seem to be any sound coming from within that you can hear.
As we're walking up, assuming that Shaylun's mind is the gears are turning as she's looking at this place, I just say to her at my side, the true wonderment is inside of the hut, I assure you.
I look up and kind of smile and am already like planning on rifling through all of this shit. So
Okay.
Door and push it to see if it's open.
It does not push open.
I knock.
are there
That
any
was-
hours posted?
There are no hours.
I go around to the back door.
You go around to where you think the back door is, and it is also closed. And
I knock again.
again, no response.
Oshun, I'm
Auntie,
here for my components.
UA?
Is there
Anybody
a roof?
in there?
There is a roof. Yes, it is a building, has a roof.
Is there smoke or anything coming from inside, like light or?
Are there people around?
No, there's not really. The closest building is kind of out of sight of where you are if you're kind of coming to the front. Like if people were in boats, they could get a good view of you, but there's nobody on the water that's close.
All right, I'm gonna go look in the window. I'm gonna peep.
Okay. Peeking in the window, you notice in what light there is that there's a table and several items kind of scattered along the table. There's a pot, instruments kind of around it, some bones. You think they're bones. They're probably animal bones. And no other movement within.
We will come back later, maybe.
I don't think so.
Or
Panabon, nobody's looking. Try the door.
We are in a market. We are normal market goers. We do not have to violate her personal.
So this isn't actually near any market area. This is like far to the side. It's like
We are far away from the market, but we are regular shoppers.
so
Here.
is there actually a lock?
I
or
love
is
that
it
Baru is
a
just like,
big
still
slab
come
of-
over here.
Is there just like a big slab of door, or is there like an actual lock to it, or?
No, you can lock it. Yeah, it's got a lock.
Okay.
I would like to investigate the area leading to the water, like on the side of the place that the water is, just in case shenanigans.
Yeah, shenanigans as they do.
I will assist.
All right. Go ahead and make an investigation test.
And
With
I will
advantage?
assist Panabon.
Yeah, can I like be a lookout?
Whoever is the main person seeking will roll with advantage if someone is helping. Yes.
Can I like wait on like a corner, making sure no one tries to come down the?
Oh, there you go.
That's a good idea, Lox.
You
Yes.
see everything.
All right. And
Oh, you're muted, Sarah. We missed all of that.
I saw it.
Also good roll, Panabon.
It's
So-
almost as if I'm looking
what I
into an orb that can communicate with me and show me visions of.
so the door is actually fairly easy to open, Panabon. So you get that open, and so Panabon and Perunia, I
We're
guess, are
racing.
heading in. Outside, just kind of looking along the ground, there does appear to be some tracks that lead. You do find just in the sand, like just footprints that go to the water, but they also return from the water. looking at where they go to, you can kind of step out onto some rocks and see that there's some places where there's dips and pools have kind of formed in the rocks there. That as kind of the soft waves ripple over, just a little bit of water kind of goes over, and it's just enough to keep the pool full of water. There appears to be some stones kind of set around it, and then there is looks like a red coloration, but when you check it, you're fairly certain it's blood. And it's just kind of like on the edge of where the pool is.
Are they shoes? Or is it bare feet? Is it three toes? Is it snake feet? Which they don't have?
It's barefoot. Regular feet.
A bear? What? Oh my
Wait,
god.
what was the description? The description was tailed, or were they slithering?
Else.
You didn't have a
Tails.
Well,
right?
they said what serpent-like beings. They could have
What
had
said-
limbs.
What?
Sarah?
Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
What size feet? Like, are these like the old lady feet or the kid feet?
Could be either or. You don't know. You didn't really see either of them. So, but it's about old lady or teenager kid feet. Yeah.
And
Mr.
you
Locks?
All
You
right.
said also that the rocks were like the blood was like in the rocks that were lapping over against the shoreline, or
So there's a sand part, and then eventually the sand gives way to stone, right? And so that's like a stone beach, if you will. And the water just gently kind of comes over, and there's just a depression where the water goes in and creates a bowl about that big around. That's
Like a tide pool?
3 feet around. It's like a tide pool, except it's not, the ocean and there's no tide. It's just consistent. And then there's rocks placed around the stone bowl, the rock
Placed?
bowl. Yes, placed. They're definitely
Oh.
placed. They're evenly spaced. And then there's just a little bit of blood is kind of on the side. You would say closer to the house is where it's a little off to the side of that. So like if you were to stand on the side of the bowl closest to the house, it's maybe a couple of inches to the right along the bowl.
And
Okay, so
that blood. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Danny, that blood, is it? How much blood are we talking about?
It's very little. It's just a splash of blood. Like you would not have noticed it without a 26 investigation roll.
Got it.
All right.
All right.
Miss Lux, do you think you might be able to ascertain maybe the weight of the person who stepped here, if it was a child or if it was the old woman?
I've never seen this old woman or this child, but I can tell you.
Oh, you didn't come with
roughly
us?
what I think it is. I was not
Oh,
here
crap.
for this.
Damn,
So-
fragmented memory.
But I can tell you if it is more likely someone smaller and frail or like a big person. I mean,
the tracks look adult size.
yeah.
I'm gonna whisper to Minya. Can you swim?
That was what I was thinking too. I'm glad you did it by yourself because I would have felt bad asking Minya if she could swim.
You get a sense that Minya can swim. But
Swim, yeah.
it is not a preferred mode of travel.
Would understood. I would you mind taking a look around under the water?
Your
to the beach.
bag, your spellbook bag, kind of shifts a little bit as the little Minya head kind of pokes out. The nose kind of, and then goes back into the bag, and then Minya fully comes out of the bag, shakes, and then jumps off and just kind of glides towards the water.
As she does that, I've been getting along really well with Aegis lately. So I'm gonna turn to Aegis and say, I'm gonna go too. And then I'm gonna hold my hands up like puppies. As soon as you pick me up, my eyes go white, and my consciousness is in Minya.
Oh, again. This thing.
It's the water's edge. There's a lot of plants, just sort of little freshwater weeds and stuff, little minnows, little fish. You do get an urge. You feel an urge to like snatch one if you can, but you are not the best swimmer. It's clumsy, and the minnows are used to the swimming in the water, so they get away. Looking around, it's the main thing you get is a sense of how clear the water is. It just, you can actually see very far in the water, and you can make out the ground, if you will, the bottom of the lake out until maybe 300 feet or more. You don't see anything right off the bat that grabs your attention.
I'm going to keep searching because if there's supposedly an underground portal or something, like I want to look.
Okay. As you are looking, and Lux, did you do a survival check?
Yeah, I can. I was just waiting till that resolves. So yes. Oh, I want to use my inspiration. Is what I want to use.
Okay.
Just want to know.
Oh shit! Everyone's doing pretty good today.
So there are ways to kind of tell perhaps who is or isn't whose foot a footprint belongs to. Things about like the gait of the person, like the way they're walking. Things about if it's in mud, like this is sand, but if it was in like mud, you could maybe see impressions within the foot itself, like if there's like cracks or, if they got corns or bunions or something like that. But the way that this person walks, you get a sense that it is, it's probably the old woman. There's also a sort of telltale scrape just on the edge, which signifies to you someone who isn't clipping their toenails because, no one's making them.
I get that.
So Locke the investigator from any crime drama you've ever seen, where he like gets down, touches it, and he instantly knows all that information and starts spouting it to the rest of the team. And he adds at the end, and whoever this person is sure does need to cut their toes. It's kind of
nice.
Panabon, as you open the door, what do they see?
Like, is there something I'm supposed to be worrying about, or is it just an empty shop?
I mean, what do you do? Not what do you see. I'll tell you what you see. What do you do?
Okay. Well, the door is open. I'm going to slide in and then make like a fern.
Oh, I'm going to go in much louder than that. I go in, and I go, I also have my hand conveniently on my weapon. Auntie, Yue, are you okay?
There is silence.
I'm going to do a quick investigation. I like to see, like, Yue's pretty small, so if she could be hiding somewhere underneath and, is too timid to come out, and behind wherever the old lady sleeps, perhaps.
Okay. So there's an area that is separated from the rest of the shop. which has a small bed in it, and then there's another area that's it's not closed off with a door. There's beads that section it off, and there's you think you can make out a bed in there as well. You don't notice anything immediately as you're looking around. The area with the small bed has its own window, and that is probably you think it's facing to the west, and the other room has a window that faces to the north.
Both windows closed?
They appear to be closed.
I test them.
Okay. They open easily enough. They're not locked. They are.
I look out the window to see if there's a small teenager running away from them.
Okay. You don't see a small teenager. And you're mostly just kind of frustrated, like that the clues aren't just jumping into your lap, and so it's making you a little bit haphazard in where you're looking and how you're checking. So you're not actually finding anything that's useful yet. Panabon. Perunia is a bowl in a old witch's herb shop. So
I kind of want to do like it's a 3-thing thing, but it's kind of all happening simultaneously somehow. So I want to explain, and then you can decide how you want me to do this. So I want to look for any symbols in the shop that look like they could either be of thief origin or some like weird thing that maybe Shaylun mentioned offhand once or saw something. It's like something that looks like it could be a symbol that could be important. Like if it's like a squid, that we were looking for like squid symbols earlier or something. The second one, if I could do a flora fauna thing to see what kind of things there are. And then I also want to be able to talk to Perunia at some point. So I don't know how long all those.
We could do all of those things except talk to Perunia. It's not gonna happen. No. So
we're thinking of 20 though.
So go ahead and start with an investigation test.
Let's start with an investigation. Investigation is
So looking around, you don't notice any symbols that you think would be thief symbols. You do see that there is kind of placed. So there's one over the doorway as you enter on the inside, and then there's one on the back door as well. That there is a small stone that it's a circular stone that is painted with a white circle and then a black circle within the white circle.
How attached are those stones to the top of the inner doorway?
The one in the front door is on the sill, and it's just like leaning, like you could just take it. The one on the back door is there's no sill, so there's a nail tapped in and it's hanging from a string.
And I take the one in the front because it's right there.
Those could be a ward, to curse. Oh, okay, cool.
We've already got water demon problems. I say we take this to Shaylun and we can figure out what this is.
Sure.
Okay. So before we rejoin the group, I have something I want to talk to you about that's just between us, normies, as it were. You may not like what I'm going to say, so I will preface it with that.
I don't like what most people have to say, so that's okay.
Yeah, but this is me we're talking about, and I'm just off the top of my head. I am getting really nervous about the magic. Specifically, I am getting really nervous about Shaylun's use of magic. Not because magic is necessarily good or bad, because we know it can be done well or it can be done badly. I mean, we both lived in Palacune. My fear is Shaylun's curiosity is going to lead her down something that could be bad. I don't know how we're going to handle that because a lot of the people that do magic aren't as curious as her. And I don't know if you're as nervous as I am or if I'm reading something, but
I wasn't as nervous about that problem until right now. Now I am also nervous. Ha!
I mean, if
I
you think
wasn't
about
nervous,
it,
but now I am.
if you go back through the conversations in your head, just, I mean, I don't think anything bad is going to happen, but I mean, let's face it, the two of us are not like them. The rest of them have, I mean, you've got lightning breath, so you've got that going for you at least. I don't have that. I got a knife you can stick in a stone, which is great, but it's not going to shoot firebolts at anything.
Yeah. I definitely feel a little vulnerable. Not that I need to be, because I'm big and strong and stuff. But
Yeah, you are big and strong, and I can steal stuff, which is great, but it's not going to help if somebody like people can't hypnotize people with magic, right? That's not a thing people can do.
I'm sure they definitely could.
Great, that's
Yeah.
that's something to worry about. So we don't need to make a plan now. I think we should.
I don't know what our plan would be. I mean, like, I can hold her real tight, but that's not going to help anything.
So here's the problem: is that we like if something were to go wrong, what is there anything we can do? Like,
What's your definition of going wrong? Because I feel like lots of things have gone wrong already.
that is a
This
good
is
point.
very confusing. I need to think about this.
Yes, no, but think about it. So I just from one normie to another, as it were. I mean, there's going to be more magic in the world. More of the stuff is going to start happening, and I feel like this is going to sound weird for me to say. People like us are going to get hurt.
Or you and I should get some magic.
You really want magic?
Well, I don't want to be the only one to not have magic. Do you?
I mean,
I don't need to be magical. I just want, a magic item.
Where you get like one magic item and then you need two because the one isn't enough. Like, what if it's like a never-ending thing? Did you ever play that game Malfazzi where you've got the
Okay. I'm going to stop you right there. I'm going to stop you right there because they're going to come in on us, and this is going to be a very hard conversation to explain.
Anyways, we can talk more about it later, but I just think that as normal people in the group, we should have a plan in case like dark evil cloud comes, and I don't want to speak this into existence. I'm not speaking this into existence,
God.
but if we have to go back to Palacune and like Flemgezu does some crap, like, and we like just it's a very real concern. I mean, people in the desert were going to sell Shayloon, and who knows what was going to happen, right?
You
It's
and
a
I
real
need to watch
concern.
each other's backs. I agree.
Yeah.
I can't say anything about the curiosity of magic. All we can do is watch and wait and see if something's going to happen. But I promise, Panabon, I will watch it back.
I'll watch yours. And
Also, if you keep that eye, that should help.
Oh, thanks.
Auntie! We found you!
I beg to differ, but what are you doing here?
Looking for you, number 1. Number 2, looking for UA. Number 3, looking for serpent beings from the Shadow Fae, also known as water demons.
Water demons.
I see. Jiwei is not here. It appears that in the excitement of the fire, she made her way out, or perhaps something came and took her. I'm not certain which. I've been trying to find her myself. What's your interest in this?
So, when we said we would help with the murder, there was some, suspicion we had that Yue had either seen something or perhaps was even the intended target of the people doing the murdering. And so I was worried about her.
Hmm. Well, seems you might have had something to be worried about after all. She normally would not stay out all night, so I am forced to consider that she was taken. I've been trying to figure out who. She indicates the table with all the stuff on it.
So when we were here last, you talked to my friend Rosalia about elves and the Shadow Fae, and we have reason to believe that the things that attacked the Blue Jug Lodge were of the Shadow Fae. And since you seem to have some knowledge of the Shadow Fae, we were hoping that you might have some information on them.
Just so. I was looking into that. I believe that, well, I would need someone with a propensity towards magical ability, but I believe I have something that may assist if you're looking for these beings from the Shadow Fae.
Was magic?
Come again?
You said you needed a magic person? My friend knows magic.
Knowing magic and having the ability to pick up on new magic are different things. But
Oh, no idea. No.
I'll assume that you mean the latter.
Sure. I call outside. Hey, Aegis, Shay, Lox, hey, come over here.
Minya's swimming in the water, and make a perception test.
Which of us?
This is for Minya.
Also, I'm just going to look at Auntie while this is happening and go, so, you're not evil?
What does that even mean? Yes.
I don't know. You were talking in cryptic phrases. You got the creepy cottage. You've got the vibe. It's great. No, I love it. It's great craftsmanship. Mazel tov on that.
I elbow Panabon. What they mean to say is, this is a very interesting establishment.
You bend down and elbow Panabon?
Kick him. I kick him. That makes more sense. Yeah.
You can use inspiration. This inspiration used by Shayloon, brought to you by Mythweavers.
Ooh, and a
777.
good one. Nice.
All right. Minya suddenly notices a form in the water, sort of a shadowy form, and just in time to avoid something that comes shooting out at her from the direction of said form. And she's going to start trying to get away, unless you have some other plan.
I kind of want to roll out of the way, but since we can see so well in the water, I definitely want to try to get a good look, at least on the way out.
Okay. You get a fairly decent look at what it is. And while we check on that outside, Aegis and Lox, you, of course, hear shouting from inside of the hut.
So I have placed Shay back in the sitting on my backpack, which might become a permanent thing. And I have gone to look at the blood, which I don't know if it's necessary to actually investigate at this point because we kind of know a lot of things. Or maybe I should. Can I do a medicine test on the blood to see if I can tell if it's human or not?
You can.
Yeah, so that's what I would have been doing.
Can you bring back your bag of bloody nuts at the same time and just chew while you're considering?
It does not have the same scent and of human blood.
The taste, though? No, I'm just kidding.
It's like iron.
The taste. Okay. And simultaneously, while I'm like looking at that, and Lox is looking at the footprint, I go, "Have you ever considered Panabon before? You know, sometimes they're a bit unpredictable. Sometimes they are cheerful. Sometimes they are quite murderous. Do you think we may have to kill them one day?"
I love these two separate conversations happening. It's amazing.
I mean, I feel like if you don't watch Panabon's probably trying to watch you. It could be a dangerous matter. I don't know. I'd say sleep with one eye open. Be careful. Maybe.
Gripping your pillow tight.
Yeah. Like I can't read Panabon, and that's the thing. Like I've seen Panabon, and then I've seen like Panabon wear like very drastically different clothes before, and I'm like, Panabon, what are you doing? I don't know. It's weird.
That
And
is
then-
what I mean. Like they are very unpredictable. You know, that is what makes us a good pair. I'm here to be the insightful one, while you would be the one to probably kill Panabon if we had to do so.
And he sort of swallows and goes, I don't like talking about killing my friends. And I'm kind of starting to like Panabon a little bit. But if Panabon is trying to kill you or me, then I'd have to find a way to not kill him, but calm him down.
Both my eyes and my ears are in the water, right?
Yes. Yeah, you can't hear or see a thing.
She can still hear us.
Nope, she can't hear you.
Okay. In my mercenary life, I've met many untrustworthy people, and I make it a habit to assess what the weaknesses might be of each individual that I cross. So I don't know. Maybe it's a trained response.
He looks at you and goes,
But I like Panabon too.
yeah. So you got a list about all of these weaknesses of all your friends. That seems kind of
Not physical.
It's kind of counterproductive to
No,
build friendship.
You
But-
may thank me one day.
He goes, I think they're calling us. We should go in there. I think she can still go. Their connection kind of is a bit maybe I don't know. That's not that far, is it?
Go ahead. I will linger at the door just in case.
It
All right.
it swims at Minya and lashes something out towards her as Minya is trying to swim away. Minya has pretty good dexterity saving throws, so is able to kind of float around that and is trying to make her way to the shore and out of the water as quickly as possible. But yeah.
I urge her on.
Okay. Inside the hut. So your intent is to resolve the issue then?
Think that we would feel good about ourselves leaving an open portal to the Shadowfae around here. And I don't think that we feel good about leaving our orc friends to be murdered by serpent beings. So if we can help, we're willing to.
I also just like stabbing things.
That too.
I see. Well, have you ever faced a denizen of the Shadowfae?
We have multiple times.
Hmm.
Okay, it was a really large spider. But yeah, I fought one.
I see. You do know then that oftentimes it can be difficult to pierce their hide.
Unfortunately, that is also the case. They've got a sword that goes through stone.
Ooh, Stonewater Demon. That's a twist.
She turns and draws out of a sort of a dresser that's there. It's definitely. I mean, as soon as she turns, you're just like, that is a sword wrapped in some sort of cloth, and it never fails. There's always going to be a picture that is going to be included somehow that I'm just not going to have ready for Tom in time for the screen. But she unwraps it and reveals. So, like, here comes a sword from an old crazy batty hermit lady in a magic hut, and in your mind you're thinking to yourself, this is going to be something amazing, if especially as a player too, on the side. But
it's not.
Panabon just sighs internally, just like it's just one long sigh.
As she opens it up, you see a battered, pitted sword. The handle, if it ever had any leather or anything wrapped around it, that's long since rotted away. It is heavily notched. Looks really old.
I mean, I have a sword. So, I mean, this has seen better days, yes?
If you are going to find my UA, I would ask that you take this and perhaps I think it will serve you well enough.
Knowing that things aren't always what they seem, and even if they are, I'm going to be polite about it. And so stifling Marunia's disappointment, I was very excited for a sword. I reach out and I take it and I give it a respectful bow, as if it was a much nicer, more beautiful sword. I want to say thank you. If it can do anything like Panabon's sword, it's at least giving it a shot. I'll try it out.
So I have a couple of items that might be helpful. So it needs something around the handle. Is that what it is? Like it doesn't have a hilt thing anymore?
It does. It just doesn't, like, if there was ever leather wrapped around it or any sort of other than just the handle of the sword. So like if there was wood that had, it's not there.
I have some leather in my inventory. Can I create a makeshift leather thing? I don't know what kind of leather I have in my inventory. I don't know what that is, but I have that. Can I use that in a sweet gesture of friendship to help create a more comfortable hilt for my dragonborn gladiator friend?
I mean, she hands the sword to Prunia, so if Prunia wants to let you do that, that's it. As the two of you walk in, seeing this at first a sword, and then you realize that this is the oldest, jankiest sword you think you've ever seen.
How much did you pay for that?
Don't be rude, Aegis. It was a gift.
Does it at least glow or something? Like,
why would a sword glow?
I mean, glow, like,
what question that is.
Like, it kind of does the opposite. All the pits and notches actually create shadow within the blade itself, right? So it's like the opposite of a glowing sword. It's very dull sword.
Although Sonato once did a thing with a chainsaw and some light bulbs.
Who?
But Sonato. Oh, you don't know about Sonato the guy?
Oh no, Locke.
He looks over. He looks at Perunia, goes, I guess it will help.
For my manners. Auntie, this is our friend Lox and our friend Shay. You didn't have the chance to meet both of them when we came to your shop earlier. And you will remember Aegis, who, of course, ordered all the supplies from you.
Shay is not here.
Shay is here.
No.
That's an accurate statement.
Oh.
No, she is not here, but she is here.
But you know about it. What do you know? He sort of raises an eye.
I presume she'll return momentarily. Minya makes it to the edge of the water and hops out and allows herself a quick shake before scampering into some brush, trying to evade whatever this is in case it decides to come after her.
So
Words.
You are muted, Shay.
Sorry.
Oh.
As soon as I'm not used to push to talk anymore. As soon as she shut up. So as soon as she makes it to the brush and I know where she is and that she's keeping a lookout, I'm gonna zip back to my body.
Okay, you find yourself inside the building. There is everybody. There is Perunia holding an old sword, and there is a older lady just kind of looking at you. As you come to, and what did you see?
Hi. So there's a human water monster thing that tried to attack us, and it might have chased us. So Minya's keeping a lookout, but everyone should be ready just in case. Because if it follows us, that's bad. It shot something at us. I'm not sure if it was connected to it or not. But it had like mouth tentacles and big ears, and it was really in shape. Like it had those like bumpies on its abdomen, like the big beefy men people do. And it was really scary. So hi, I'm Shay.
Can I insight check her while she's watching Shay say all this stuff?
You absolutely can.
Panabon says out loud, "Wow, when I think of a water demon, I really think of a water demon."
I'm gonna go with that 13. I think that's not too bad.
She seems unfazed by what she's hearing. She's just listening, taking it in.
Okay. And Locke, you told me all about what you kind of read out of the tracks, right?
Yeah.
And we could assume that it was like an older. We're assuming it could be Auntie that.
I mean, like you look down,
I mean,
look down and see that she's got bare feet. I mean, so
yeah, I mean, like
And her
her toes are like kept like very badly.
her little toenail is like it grows out to the right and it curls. It's weird.
It's part of her.
It looks like it might actually be like some sort of just kind of a physical anomaly, you know, like her toe is kind of crooked. Maybe she broke it once upon a time.
I'm gonna I would have told you that first. And I'm like, I don't want to be here any longer than we should. My friend here gets really tired and he looks really deliberately at Shay and says, I think you should probably rest, Rad?
Slack, before we head out, I think you guys should all know that the little girl Yue is missing. And she might have been taken by these water creatures.
Ushun, on what side of this issue do you lie?
Wait, who? Oh, me?
No, Ushun, the little auntie.
Oh.
Now that attention has kind of come back to her, she looks at Shay and says, I am Yikatsu Samegre, auntie. My ward is missing. I am displeased with that. This woman has offered to find her. I have something that may help, and I believe you could make use of it.
What would be very helpful is if you would tell us all the information you know about the situation.
Well, where would the fun be in that?
Panabon.
And he looks over, listening to Aegis and goes, "Well, we saw your footprints out by the water, specifically where this creature came from."
There is blood spatter, and it is not human. Perhaps a scuffle took place. I believe you know more than you are saying.
You've got me, I admit it. A scuffle indeed took place. A ferocious squirrel, as she indicates the table where there's bones, was an unwilling participant in a seeking ritual. However, I was the victor. Unfortunately, it did not net the information I was seeking.
Inside
I
check.
imagine.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I imagine that if whoever took her knows who I am and my abilities, perhaps they were able to block my attempts to divine where they had gone,
Nope.
which is why I need a second pair of eyes.
While this is all like, I'm not as interested in the human conversation, like now that I'm actually inside the shop. And I know Minya's got an eye outside, so I want to kind of slide down off of Aegis's backpack, and I want to go over and touch. I'm not going to take it from her, but I want to touch
Oh no.
the sword, and I want to cast Identify. But I'm going to say my code word, which is going to be okay. I haven't cast this yet, so historical context.
Yes, Shay, I'm sure it has historical context. I don't know that you and I will know about it. Weird
Kind of
question.
side eye the long name.
Yeah, you're gonna need to rename that one.
Listen,
They
it's on
can't
the
all
fly,
be
okay?
winners, you know. They can't all be winners.
Shay, Auntie was speaking of an item that could be used by a magic user to help.
I'm so not listening to you right now. I'm looking at the sword.
Holding it like I'm right in front of you.
Okay.
Shoot. Train of thought just dropped off. I was going to say something. You guys.
So did Shay's.
Anyway, oh yeah, I know what's going on. So, anyway, yeah. So you cast the spell, and I think you can see what the result of that casting is. As Auntie turns and looks at her desk, there's a lot of various writings and like scrolls, and she looks around and she turns and this one should do it. She turns and Shaylun has her hand on the sword and her eyes closed, and Auntie sighs. I'll wait.
I don't know. She does this sometimes. I'm so sorry.
My like as my eyes are closed, like my face just kind of starts to furrow, and I kind of like push it away, and I'm like, and then I see her looking at me.
She's got a scroll in her hand. It's with this, you may be able to find what you're looking for, and she proffers it to Shaylun.
I take a look at it, and Identify works for 10 minutes, so
It's a spell.
that does.
It's a seeking spell. It allows you the ability to know if there's a presence and in what direction. So
Neat, and you can see that she feels very like she gets real excited when she sees that it's a magic scroll, and then she like grabs her book and she's like doesn't have enough hands to like write and hold the scroll and read it, and like she's
Panabon
so excited.
size is there to like hold something so that
Um,
they can do whatever they need to do.
she kind of like looks back and forth and she goes, yes, hold this. And then like she like her eyes are like really excited because like this lady knows and has magic stuff. So she starts like looking all around the room and trying to identify some of the items in the shop and what they can do.
Panabon glances to Perunia just very briefly in just the most subtle of eyebrow raise and then away.
Perunia notices. Says nothing.
Ushun.
Sarah is really glad you have a shitty sword.
Given the time it will take for you to resolve the spell, perhaps somewhere not in here.
What? I just this magic.
Yes.
So what does this do? And she just picks up a random bauble and like studies it real hard, and
That holds that excrement.
she puts it
You to say.
down and wipes her hand on her pants, and then picks up the next thing. What does this do?
Wait,
Also that
Shay,
excrement-
those are really great questions, but I think we have more pressing questions to ask Auntie. More importantly, Auntie, why was your ward taken? What do you think? Somebody must have wanted her for a reason, and presumably she either saw something or it was to get back at you.
Well, if someone is able to hide themselves from my vision, then I presume that they have some power. And if they wish to, I don't know, take system for themselves, I suppose.
I think it's the wizard. And then she's still picking up objects and using identify.
You did mention Chitra last time we were here, and it didn't sound like you were on the best of terms.
Oh, he's harmless, I suppose. I was going to say that the obvious targets would be myself and Chetra for anyone who wanted to take over if they had magical ability, because we are the only two who would have the means to counter that. But if you have magic, as she indicates to Shaylun, perhaps they'll not be ready. She shrugs.
I have a question.
I'm sure you do.
Who in the Oasis hates orcs?
I'm sure I don't know.
Because, well, I actually have a line of thinking here. So when we heard about the ward, the girl, right? She was hanging out with orcs, and that was part of the whole like murder plot where the water demon started. So what if she's like bait to try to get rid of the orcs? Like, it's not implausible that someone hates the orcs enough to try to like frame Auntie or the ward for something, right? Maybe?
I find it amusing when someone comes just that close to resolving their issue, and the orcs were the bait so that they could take you away.
Panabon, follow.
But right track, wrong direction.
Oh, well, I do that a lot. But I got close, which is a good sign.
It was not too bad of a shot.
It was almost as good as us thinking the auntie was part of it.
We did accuse you of being a part of your ward's kidnapping. I am sorry that your actions were suspicious.
That's not an apology so much as
May I have my components, please?
Indeed. With that, she turns and pulls out just a brown leather wrapping and proffers it over to you.
Auntie,
Pay for it?
before we
Yeah.
go, there's a lot of people at the lodge that are potentially hurt, and so I don't know about your standing in the community, but it may behoove you to send like some healing tea or something, if you want to. It's like people kind of freaked out about the water demon, and now there's like people like triaging in the cavern. So just so you know, that's happening.
Are any of them pregnant?
I mean, maybe I didn't ask around.
I think
but
that one of the women
it's
was-
an oasis. Anything can happen.
One of the women was at least in her second trimester.
Very well. Out with you.
Just a few more minutes.
Nope. We gotta go. She said out, and we should out.
I
Don't-
would usher her.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Me?
Yes.
Hey, Sarah, can I ask what the Shaylun emoji means? With the two faces and the O mean?
You turn, and as you turn, not the thing you're holding, but you kind of knock it into something else, and that starts to fall. But you manage to grab it real quick before it does, and push it back up. That would have
Be a
been
bull in a china shop.
unfortunate.
Sorry.
Oh, don't be
Would
sorry
you
to
be a-
me.
Wouldn't you be a dragon in a China shop? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you
What?
be a bull in a China shop?
Brunya's not good at metaphors.
There's
I'm
no
leaving.
there's no China shops.
I was about to say, what is a China shop in this way?
it's a Daywall shop.
Just be hyper focused here, but of all the stuff I was picking up while they were talking, did I find anything magical?
Nothing came up as magic until you grabbed the last thing that fell and were putting it up. That was magic. If you want to put your finger on it for another couple seconds.
Yeah, I'll do that thing where like I almost drop everything or knock everything over and then set it down. I'm like, sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
This
I'm
is my
also-
foible, guys. This is like I can't walk away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, by the way, as we're leaving, because I have that stone in my pocket, I'm not going to replace it, but I'm going to take ink from my bag and like kind of crudely try to draw the symbol over the doorpost. That's Panabon's way of
Like 5
apology.
minutes for
Okay.
you to do it.
It doesn't seem complicated.
I'm gonna do this graffiti in your doorway.
It's graffiti for a purpose. It's like Bono if Bono did graffiti.
So you took the eye and you replaced it with a drawing of an eye on the top of the door sill. So you climb up there.
He reached
Oh
that.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's like replacing the stone.
I'm
Only
sure no one
doing that
noticed.
at all.
I'm sure the woman who is all about scrying and divination magic, is not going to know what has just happened or where we are.
I was
Or
not
that
being subtle
she's just
about
watching
it.
us.
Yeah. Now we have her eye.
Can I buy this?
And what do you offer?
What is money?
I didn't imagine you were going to offer your soul.
Oh, is this? Oh, am I supposed to? 1 gold piece. Two gold pieces?
She narrows her eyes at you.
Three? Four?
I'm trying to discern if you are being facetious or if you have no idea what you're talking about.
The second one.
I see. 250 gold coins.
Oh, it would have taken me a while to get that.
That's why I stopped you.
Oh, right.
I go, no. And I take a garnet out of my bag, which is one of the eye from the guards, and I toss the garnet on the counter. And
We
go,
did this last time,
"For
Panabon.
the trouble." No, I mean, the garnet is fine. It's from a weird stone bewitched guard. I mean, that's got to be worth something, right? That's got to be equivalent.
Are you sure, Panabon? That's your garnet.
Yeah. I know, but like, I'm just gonna steal another one and maybe non-magical this next time. So like,
I wait to see her reaction.
She looks between the two of you. She looks at the garnet. Where did you say this garnet came from?
Nowhere.
well, I think at this point, might as well tell the truth. I mean, with her especially, and who is she gonna tell? So like, there's like
Anyone?
As soon as she says that too, while Panabon, while you're saying this too, as soon as she says that, I get sus and I reach out to touch the garnet and make sure it's not magic.
We're never gonna get out of the shop, guys. We're just gonna live in the shop forever.
There is magic in the gemstone.
Never mind. I believe I have. Let me check my pockets. And I turn away from them since I've been hiding money from them and start rifling through some of my hiding places.
I don't remember where the garnet came
Not
from.
using the garnet, is that what's happening?
The eyes of the statue.
Huh?
Is that what it was?
Glowing eyes of Chitra's statue.
They're not glowing right now. I mean,
It's not glowing right now. No, that's true.
okay, fine. So I'm not going to use the garnet. all right.
The big statue that had the glove. Oh.
Well, can you hold this until we maybe come back with UA? And any other magic items you have here?
Oh my goodness. We should go. Sorry.
I'll be back. Don't you let it. Don't you? I'll be.
As you push Shayloon out of the store and all of you leave, you just hear kind of a well, and
Have I ever acted that way in a store before?
Sure hope you haven't, Aegis.
I have a shopping addiction now.
I will say, Aegis, I've seen you get mighty riled up about some weird food on our travels.
That was actually a rhetorical question. I know that I have been awkward before. I've never seen Shay and Panabon be as awkward as they were just now.
So that was uncomfortable, even for me.
So
I'm just out here living my life.
Panabon.
The door closes after everyone is after you're about 10 to 15 feet away, the door closes. And then you find yourselves on the street. Shay with a scroll and the garnet, and the rest of you kind of looking at her oddly.
What does it do?
We'll find out. But not right now because it's the end of our session.
I have one more question. Well, kind of more of a statement. So the thing didn't follow us out of the water, as Minion kept on. So as soon as I'm out of the shop, it's like my frenzy is like immediately over, and I'm like back to normal, and I've got my two things, and I'm like, so I think we were close to finding out where the portal was, or at least where these things are living, because it didn't follow us. So it wasn't hunting; it was protecting.
Like protecting eggs, like a bird.
Maybe a portal or a home. So I at least have an idea of where in the lake this is happening, potentially.
And then the credits.
And then credits. So that's our stream tonight. Thank you everybody for joining us. I always feel like we're going to get so much further than we're going to, but then we don't because these individuals are fantastic.
Shopping!
Indeed. So thanks for joining us. And anybody got anything they want to put out before we go? Tuesday night, Randy.
Night. Yeah, Tuesday nights for you too.
We got our week of REM stuff. Comic books are going out to the world, and Gen Con is soon. So, all right. Well, with that, then I am going to wish everybody a fond farewell. Thank you, cast. Thank you, everybody who checked in. Thank you, Tom, for.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you. Back of Tom's head. We can see it in the Discord. All right. Good night.
Bye.
Bye. Mwah.